Now, I haven't done one of these in years, but it's also a great time to talk about some things that might not have enough meat to make their own videos, but are still really cool gift ideas, either for someone you love or you. Not necessarily just straight up mics and interfaces, though, but practical stuff that will be used in a studio, and you probably aren't going to be able to guess the last one. And yes, there are going to be links in the video description. And yes, they will be affiliate links. They do go to help support the channel at no cost to yourself. Now, this is something I didn't expect for Rode to drop. And while this might seem kind of meh at first glance, when you get a bit closer to this thing, it may very well be something you need in your studio. Now, first up, earlier this year, I did need something like this, so I bought an OWC for a bit over $200 US, and honestly, it's decent, still using it to this day. But the issue with a lot of these hubs is that they're aimed at multi-monitor setups, not really studio setups, meaning I just need data transfer. I don't need several monitor connections. I've got no issues there. So you end up paying more for features that you're not going to use, or at least I'm not going to use. And this Rode hub comes way more prepared to take on my USB crisis than the OWC. This thing has 6 USB ports, all of which are USB 3.2 Gen 2 and a USB-A port that supports USB 3.2 Gen 1. That's a mouthful, but what do all those random numbers mean? Well, this port fast. These ports double fast. So much so that I can edit multiple 4K files in the same video sequence overlapping, and I don't have any issues with my Mac Mini. Now, that is also computer dependent, but at least with this, you know it won't be your bottleneck, which is really helpful. Now, when you compare that to the OWC offering, it has 3 USB-C ports and 2 USB-A ports. That one does boast Thunderbolt though, meaning it does run monitors. Again, not really my studio issue. The beauty with this, though, is that it frees up the back of my Mac Mini, so if I need more screens or access to that Thunderbolt, I can just use the available Thunderbolt back there. So yeah, if you're like me and just need more USB connections for your workflow, this thing will make an amazing gift. It only costs around $149 depending on where you buy it, which is a great price for what you get. Now we're going to stick with Rode for just a second. Now, I've sang the praises of this for some time, and for a long time, it was a constant on and in any bag I used while traveling. Then it was stolen from me the last time I went to NAB. It was hanging off my bag and somebody yoinked it. Still makes me sad to this day. And I've noticed its absence way more than I thought I would. This is their universal adapter kit, and while I saved this for emergencies, the last time Dylan and I were shooting on location, I missed it the most. I'd forgotten to take out one of the 3/8 to 5/8 reducer that ended with me trying to find someone in the downtown core of Ottawa with the screwdriver. Simply having one of these on hand would have been a no-brainer. And speaking of, I think I need to reorder one of these as well for myself for Christmas. Now, the next one is a super utility, and I think this is a necessity for anyone and everyone that has a studio. The iFixit kit is something that I've paid off countless times over the past couple of years. You don't need to be a tinkerer to use these or to need these. In fact, if you're lacking in tools, one of these kits might be exactly what you need laying around. And honestly, they do have multiple kits at multiple prices, so most of your needs will be met with something they offer. And if you're handy or fancy some tinkering from time to time, this thing will barely ever be up on the shelf. Next, we have lighting. Now, mini lights like this can change everything for a studio, and if you're doing video, these things can make a way bigger difference than you might think. Either as a quick and dirty key light or even to use as an accent on a wall behind you, these things can be worth their weight in gold. However, if you're smart, you won't go for the expensive start out the gate. Neewer has a ton of these small panel lights of all sizes and colors, and many of them are well under $50. You can even get a 2-pack with stands for $52. And if you didn't already know, lighting will make the difference between you looking like an amateur or looking like a pro. And if you're doing product photography, a few of these can take your photography to new heights. But again, unless you don't mind dropping a decent chunk of change, learn how to use these with the cheaper options to start. Now, there's some great options and you can always upgrade later. I'm going to link a couple of them down below. And finally, the least sexy thing on this list, but probably an absolute showstopper if someone finds this wrapped up with a bow. You see, there's things I hate to spend money on for my studio, and power delivery is at the top of that list. But an APC battery backup and a surge protector is a must if you have anything worth over $100 plugged into a socket. Not only that, in a power outage, these things can help you save a project before powering down, something that has bit me in the butt a couple times in the past. But most importantly, these things are just peace of mind. I run two in my office. I've got one UPS 600 and a UPS 1500. And as a big benefit, you can use them during a blackout to keep your router up and running for quite a while if you need, especially the bigger you go on your battery. But I can guarantee this is one of those things that no one likes to buy for themselves, making it kind of the ultimate gift. Any other must-haves for gifts? Let me know down below. Cheers, guys, and thanks for watching.